In a quiet American suburb, a young family lived in a cozy little house with a white fence and a backyard where kids loved to play. Inside that home, 3 generations shared the same roof. Thomas, the father; Emily, the mother; their 4-year-old son, Lucas; Thomas's aging father, Mr. William. Now, William had worked hard his whole life. He was once strong, proud, and independent, but age had changed him. His eyesight was fading, his hands trembled, and his steps were unsteady. Still, he was a man with dignity, and he loved being around his family. The family sat together for dinner. At first, William joined them at the table, but eating was difficult for him now. His shaky hands spilled peas on the floor. His fork clattered against the plate. Sometimes milk slipped from his cup, staining the clean tablecloth. Emily would sigh in frustration. Thomas would frown. "Dad, please be careful," he said more than once, but William couldn't control it. One evening, after yet another glass of milk spilled, Thomas pushed back his chair in irritation. "Emily, we can't keep doing this. Dinner has turned into a mess every night." Emily nodded. "I know. Maybe we should give him his own table, just so things stay cleaner." And so they placed a small wooden table in the corner of the kitchen. From then on, William ate his meals alone, away from the main table. They even gave him food in a wooden bowl because he had dropped and broken a few plates. At first, the couple felt relief. But sometimes, when they looked at William, they saw tears glistening in his tired eyes as he quietly ate his dinner alone. Still, frustration made them blind. Instead of compassion, they offered him scolding when he dropped his spoon or spilled his food. But someone else noticed little Lucas. Children may not understand everything adults say, but they understand far more than we realize. They notice the tone, the anger, the love, or the lack of it. One evening before dinner, Thomas walked into the living room. He noticed Lucas on the floor with some small wooden blocks and toy tools. Smiling, Thomas asked, "Buddy, what are you making?" Lucas looked up with innocence in his eyes. "Oh, I'm making a little bowl, Daddy." "A wooden bowl for you and Mommy to eat from when I grow up?" Thomas froze. His heart dropped. The room fell silent. He glanced at Emily, who had also heard the words. Both of them felt like the ground had disappeared beneath their feet. In that single moment, they realized something powerful. Their son was learning from them. He was watching how they treated his grandfather, and one day he would treat them the same way. Tears welled up in Emily's eyes. Thomas walked over to William, who sat quietly at his small table, his shoulders hunched in loneliness. "Dad," Thomas whispered, his voice breaking. "I'm so sorry." He gently took William's trembling hand. "Please come back to the family table." That night, for the first time in weeks, William sat with his family at the big table. Lucas climbed onto his lap, smiling. Emily placed food in front of him, this time with love instead of irritation. From that day forward, something changed. Spills still happened. Milk still dripped onto the tablecloth. Forks still fell. But nobody seemed to care anymore. Because what mattered wasn't the mess, it was the love they shared at that table. Over time, Thomas and Emily learned a lesson that stayed with them forever. Children don't just listen to what we say. They copy what we do. If we show patience, they learn patience. If we show kindness, they learn kindness. But if we show anger, neglect, or disrespect, they carry that forward too. Years later, when Lucas grew up, he never forgot the night when his parents chose love over convenience. And he carried that lesson into his own life. When his mother grew older, Lucas cared for her with the same gentleness he once saw given to his grandfather, because children don't forget. They store these moments deep in their hearts, and those memories shape the adults they become. Life is made up of small choices. We don't always realize it, but every act, every word, every look, every reaction plants a seed in the minds of our children. One day those seeds will grow, and the question is, will they grow into kindness and compassion, or into neglect and bitterness? So, the next time a loved one frustrates you, the next time an elderly parent repeats the same story for the 100th time, or spills their drink because their hands are too weak to hold the glass steady, pause. Take a breath. Remember your children are watching. They're learning how to love, how to treat others, and how to care. The truth is, children don't need lectures about values. We need living examples. William's story reminds us that the way we treat our parents today is exactly how our children will treat us tomorrow. So let's be wise. Let's be patient. Let's be the role models our children need, because every act shapes a life. And in the end, what will matter most is not the clean tablecloths or the unbroken dishes, but the love, respect, and kindness we pass on from one generation to the next. So tonight, when you sit at your dinner table, remember this story, because someone little is always watching, always learning, and one day they will do exactly what you do.